So good morning and welcome again, perfectly on time to another community class. Oh, it looks like we have another friend joining. So she will join us as she gets settled and ready. Um, we're here through the end of August. I can't believe it's August already. It's pretty incredible that we've kind of made it this far. We don't have set plans for September, but we'll keep you posted via email, Instagram, Facebook, all the things. Walking around the streets will tell you and shout out what we're doing because we would love space. I have to check in with the library because that could be another option as well. Apparently there's a room in the basement of the library. And so we'll get started in a comfortable seat. Okay, yeah, should have brought. So you can sit in whatever seat, yeah, allows you the most comfort. So you could be directly on the grass or the mat. You could be on a prop or a block if you need to. And we'll start actually directly with some movement. So you might close your eyes if that sort of grounds you, or you can keep them open and sort of keep your gaze out and around to kind of orient yourself. But you'll let your hands sort of touch down on something. So maybe your knees or your thighs. They could also touch down on the ground around you if you need a little bit of stability. And then from there, we'll start to take our upper body in some circles. And so really directly keep the hips steady. You got it. And you'll start to move your upper body. And it could be really small and subtle to start, right? You might get just the ribs involved or maybe the upper chest. You might go all in and be a little bit more dramatic with it. But you'll recognize what you feel and what you need. And this also could look like side to side, right? So if a side lean feels really good, good morning. If a side lean sort of side to side feels really good, then you might do that. And you can also get your head and neck and shoulders involved in a side lean. But we're working today in activating or sort of paying attention to our lower chakras. And so although we are moving through the upper body right now in these little gentle Sufi circles, I want you to kind of find the stability down in the hips so you can have this fluidity up in the upper spine. And then, yeah, almost like these like isolations of the body, right? The ribs can isolate, the shoulders, and again, a little bit of side to side. So we'll start with some gentle movement and then we'll create an intention. And so from here, the arms could float up if that feels comfortable and take them up and over your head and we'll let them stay lifted. And so you might take sort of a wide V here and maybe reach one side of the body up towards the sky and the other side of the body, like you're just kind of reaching for the clouds. Another option would be to like hook your thumbs up here and sort of tug and pull. You're going to feel a little bit of intensity in the shoulders in that. And you might pull a wrist if you want to take a side lean. But yes, so you're sort of staying grounded in your lower body, but finding this sort of energy and lift. And then another breath in. And then you'll take one of your hands down to the ground outside of your hips and lean over that way. Lean over that way. And if the opposite arm, that shoulder, is feeling really intense or getting a little bit energized and you want to soften, you can always take your arm down. There's always a way to sort of modify and soften just a bit. And then you'll press upright, so come back up and then take the other arm. So whatever arm you didn't do, you'll go the other way. And again, you can look in whatever direction suits your neck, your needs for today. You can look up or down at the grass. And then you'll press yourself back upright. The arms will lift again over your head. And then very gently, the hands can come to center and you'll walk yourself forward. So now you're sort of in this forward fold here over your legs. You go as deep, as low as feels comfortable for you. Right, so you might be a little bit more upright with more of a sort of an upright lean, or you might take yourself all the way down. You can use a prop underneath your head or stack your fists. And then very slowly bring yourself back upright. Now, if you're in a seat when your legs are doing the same thing, keep them as they are. But if your legs were crossed, you might switch the crossing. Just kind of give yourself a little bit of a shake out through the knees, and then you'll cross the legs and notice if the other leg can be in front or on top and what that feels like. And then again, very gently, some gentle side to side or some of those circles. I want you to notice what it feels like to sort of move from the base up through the spine, up through the crown. Slow and steady or more energized, your choice. And it might just feel like a gentle wave through the body. It might just feel like a gentle wave through the body. And your eyes can be open or closed, just whatever way stabilizes you so you don't get dizzy. Good. And then one more time, the arms will lift up and over your head. And so the arms can float and you can keep them wide if that feels comfortable. You can also touch fingertips together or hook your thumbs or reach through one side and reach through another side, just in a way that kind of lifts you out of the lower body for a moment. And then an exhale folds you forward again. So we're taking this forward fold. Now, if your legs are in a different position, if your legs are crossed in a different way, notice the difference, how it feels. And then you'll slowly sit yourself back up and we'll stay in our seat for a moment. And here, after all that movement, it might suit you to close down your eyes and go inside for a moment. If not, then your eyes can stay open, gaze is slightly downward. But as you are steadily breathing in and out, notice what you feel here. And if you can kind of keep that rhythm, right? That rhythm of the breath connected to this sort of flowy, watery like movement that we'll be playing with today. That taps into the second chakra, particularly the center of creativity, this energy of creation, of flow. And you'll set your intention here. And that intention may be a personal dedication for yourself or someone else. It might be a way to direct your energy. Something that guides you through your practice. And you'll hear one sound of Om. You can join if you'd like. Together we breathe in. Om. You can take a gentle bow of your head, so chin to chest here. Honor your intention, your dedication. And then lift your head, open your eyes if they were closed, lift your gaze. And so you'll come onto your seat and extend one of your legs out to the side. Now, if you feel like your leg is in the grass and you don't want that, you might reorient on your mat, right? If you don't want your foot in the grass, come into a space where you're like this. It doesn't matter which side. And so you've got one outstretched leg and the toes on that outstretched leg spark up and you try to ground down through the hips. You got it. Take the arms out wide and then lean over the extended leg. So whatever leg is outstretched and extended, you'll lean over that way. You got it. Good. Sit yourself upright and then go the other way. So over the bent knee, put the hand down and take a lean. And you might notice your hips lift a bit. Maybe you re-ground them down. Nice. Breathe in right here. Come back upright. Now we're going to do just something a little different. So the leg that is bent, you'll grab for the ankle and step it out wide. Yeah. There you go. You almost have to sort of unhinge it and yeah, there you go. And you might grab hold for the ankle that can sit you up. Yeah. So hold on to that ankle and then reach the opposite arm up to the sky and lean in the direction of that bent leg. Yeah. Yeah. So this leg that we're sort of, that has stamped to the floor, looks like a squat leg, and we'll be coming back to that shape. Nice. And then slowly sit up, lower the arm. Can you sit just a little bit taller? Feel what you feel in this lower part of the body. And then let's bring the leg back in and we'll switch. So you'll bend the extended leg and then outstretch the leg that was bent. You got it. And so one of your legs looks like a wide straddle. The other leg is in a more of a butterfly shape. Sit up nice and tall, breathe, swing the arms, and then lean over your leg that's straight. So whatever leg is straight, you'll lean over that. Yeah, you might grab for the foot or the ankle. You could touch the ground or behind the leg. Breathe in and come up and then go the other way. So drop the opposite arm and lean over the leg that's bent. You got it. Oh. And then bring yourself back up through center, pause. And now we're going to take that funky leg shape. So you kind of have to touch the foot and step it out wide. And however wide it goes is up to your hips, right? It could be sort of closer, but you might need a little space. That's where my leg is going. You might hold on to the ankle, right? Keep your arm somewhere connected to that foot, that ankle, and then reach the opposite arm up and then lean over the bent leg. You got it. And it might feel the same on the other side. It might feel different. If there's any tension, soften out of it, right? If there's any tension, come out of the shape. This could be intense right here. And then breathe your way back upright and pause for a moment. Sort of energize through the legs, feel what you feel here in this very goddess kind of shape today. Welcome to the goddess shapes, Arnaldo. And then let's now bring the bottoms of our feet together. So you'll bend both of your knees, plant the bottoms of your feet, go as wide as you need from your hips. Can you sit up even just a little bit more upright? And then from here, we'll take almost like cat-cows. And if you have blocks and you need support under your knees, that's always a great option, right? One block under each of your knees or thighs. And so you'll round your belly in, drop the chin, and then you'll go in the reverse. Pull the chest through, maybe lift the chin up, and then again. And so the shapes today will stay super grounded and low to the earth that allow us to sort of find this fluidity up through the spine. And so you're moving forward and back. Oh, good. And your eyes can be closed, they could be open. And then on your next exhalation, you'll take it forward. And so you might round on in and bow your head. And if you need a prop, you might take something under your head or perhaps plant your hands. But you're in this bound angle, forward fold. You got it. Yeah, you got it. And then very slowly sit yourself upright. We'll do one more thing down here on the ground. So pull the knees together and step the feet slightly wider apart. And we've done this before here. Touch the fingers back behind you. You'll sit your chest up and through your upper arms and start to tip your knees side to side. Yeah. And so you can go as wide or as narrow as you need. It will depend on, your hips, your low back. And your hips can lift up in this shape for sure. So it's a little twisty, a little hippie, all that stuff. One more time each side. Follow the breath, follow the breath. And then we'll come through center pause. Let's bring it into a child's pose. And so now the legs will sort of swing back behind you. And you can choose to be wide knees or have your knees closer together. Your arms can be outstretched in front towards your head or back behind you. Yeah, your choice here. And there might still be some movement. I don't know. Anytime I get into a child's pose, I gotta snuggle my hips down a little bit. And so sometimes it's not the easiest shape for you to just land in. So if you still need a little movement, then take that. Good, and you'll give yourself another breath. Enjoy here, another breath or so. And then let's keep moving. Come back to all fours. And so the arms come out in front of you, tabletop, palms and knees, and start your movement. And so I will suggest cat-cow. That might work for you. But as we're getting into the hips a bit, you might even take the hips back towards the heels and take those circles again. And so the chest pulls forward and the hips go back towards the heels, and you're kind of moving through the spine a little bit. You're getting a little fluid here. Maybe the head gets involved. You drop the head a bit. If the movement starts to feel stuck, stay with the breath. Maybe even exaggerate a deeper breath in, a deeper breath out. And imagine flowing like water, right? What that feels like, a river, the waves coming in and out. When I practice at my studio in Cranford, we are by a river and a waterfall. So when we open all the windows, we hear the sound of the river and the waterfall. So when I taught this class on Thursday, you kind of really get into it that way. So let's imagine we've got some flowing water around us somewhere. And then pause your movement. So now you're coming to stillness. Let's take right leg back behind, touch the right toes to the ground. Pick up your right foot so the leg lifts. You got it. Draw your right knee to the outside of your right arm and step the foot forward. And so you might need a little support here or come high onto fingertips. You got it. And you'll stay low, but start to, you can help your foot up there. You'll stay low and sort of move your hips a bit. And so slide slightly back and slide slightly forward. You have one block, you can stick the block to the inside of the foot, and that might help. Yeah, I told you we're getting into the hips a little bit. And then you'll breathe with the knee bent, lift your chest a bit, look forward. You can stay with your hands on the ground or pick up your arms over your head. You're in this drop knee low lunge. You got it, you got it, you got it. And over your head here, you can touch your thumbs or reach your fingers or maybe hold on to your wrists and kind of feel super grounded in the hips, but this lift. Yeah, beautiful. Side leans work too. Nice. And then as you exhale, lower the hands to the ground or your blocks, shift your hips back as the front leg works towards straight now. And so you have one block, it could be in the inside of your leg and the toes spark up. You can also use blocks under your hands. Yeah. Beautiful. So you're in this variation of a split. It's a runner's lunge or a half split. Nice. And then very slowly, you'll rebend your knee. And this transition isn't always the easiest, but pick up your hips and bring your right leg back behind you again to this, touch the toes behind you. Okay. And so from here, you'll pivot the heel down, spin the shin out, and lift the right arm up. So we're coming into a variation of a side plank. You got it. Spin the right arm and look up here. Nice. You got it. Great. And so from here, you'll pick yourself upright to stand. So put the foot down if it was lifted. Come up to stand on your knee and shin. Open the arms wide. You got it. Yep, you're facing me over here. And then lay over the long extended leg. You got it. Nice. So this is gate pose. And then come upright. So come up, lower the arms. And then your right leg, your right knee will bend. And so the toes turn out. So keep the foot on the ground, the knee bends, the toes turn out. Nice. Now keep your hand connected onto that thigh and start to lunge into the leg. Yeah. So there's a little bit of action moving forward and then slightly back out of it. And forward and slightly back out of it. And so another thing, if you're really feeling discomfort on the bottom knee, you can always take your hands forward and maybe put a little bit of support in the hand so you're not just putting all the pressure on the bottom knee. If you want to stay upright, you'll do it upright. Another moment here. And then pause your movement, come upright, take the arms out wide, and let's lay the forearm onto your right leg and reach up and over. Yeah, you got it. We'll play with the shape again, standing. Yeah. As you inhale, lift your torso upright, and let's cartwheel the hands back to the mat. And so left hand down, right knee comes down, go child's pose right here, exhale. Child's pose right here to exhale. Yeah, beautiful. And then we get to do all of that again on the other side. So lift back up to all fours, tabletop. You have your blocks, they're somewhere at the front of your mat. And then step your left toes back behind you. Yeah, left toes go back, so you're on the other side. And pick up your left leg, it lifts. And as you exhale, draw your left knee to the outside of your left shoulder so you can step it through to your left thumb. You might use blocks here or one block. And then we'll take a few of those lunges again, right? So we slid forward in the hips a bit and you slid slightly back. And then how do you sort of do this movement on your breath? It might be an inhale forward and an exhale back. And then you'll keep your knee bent. You can stay low or lift your torso, reach your arms up for the drop knee low lunge, Anjaneyasana. You got it. And you might stretch just a little bit up and over. You could side lean or hold the wrist. Yeah, and how do you do that from the stability of your hips, your legs? You got it. Breathe in here. And then exhale as the hands come down to the block or the ground. Shift your hips back and work your left leg towards straight. So we're in that runner's lunge. Yeah, really nice. Runner's lunge or half Hanuman. Beautiful. Got it. Breathe here. You'll give yourself another round of breath. Feel into the back of the leg. And then rebend your front left knee. And here's that step back. And so your left foot slides back. You can step it wide to go back. And then it lifts up again. Lower your left toes, spin your right shin, and then open to the side, your left arm lifts up. So you're facing the fields. And yeah, block under the bottom hand is always a great support if you need it. Really great. Yeah. Nice. From here, go ahead and rise up to stand on your knee and shin. So you got to push off the ground and then lay over the long leg. And so your left leg, your left arm, you reach towards the parking lot for gate pose. You got it. Beautiful. And then as you breathe, come upright, lower the arms. And now your left leg, you'll bend the knee so everything turns out. So your knee and toes will face parking lot. You got it. Put your hand on your thigh and start to take those lunges. You do a little lunging forward, a lunging back. And you can always bring your hands down to the floor or a block in front of you. That might give you some extra support or take pressure off of the bottom knee. Yeah, you're kind of moving into the leg a bit. And then you'll pause here, lay your left forearm on the top of the left thigh, and then reach the opposite arm. You got it. Yeah, beautiful. Breathe in. Yeah, really nice. Breathe out. Beautiful. Come upright, and now let's take the hands to the mat. And so right hand comes down, left hand comes down, left knee draws in, child's pose again. And then from here, you have a few options. You can sit in child's and relax for a moment, sort of get into the hips, the head. Another option would be to go to downward facing dog right here. And so you might, yeah, you can lift the hips, straighten the legs, press into your hands, and move into your down dog. You can also stay in all fours. That is a great option, taking some child's poses or some cat cows. Yeah, you might widen your feet or bend the knees a bit. You could swivel out the hips, shake out the head. Nice. And so wherever you are, you're great. You're great, exactly where you are. Yeah, and so reorient here, feel into your feet. You're in the grass, you've got bugs crawling still. There's a breeze coming through. Nice, and then let's come to plank pose. And so a breath in, you roll forward. And then here's the plan. Go back to dog on the exhale. So you might bend your knees to get you back there. And like a wave, we'll do it again. So wave your body forward on an inhale. It's a plank. And then exhale, bend the knees, press the hips back to your dog. Beautiful. You go one more time, stay in your plank pose, and now lower onto the mat. So you might drop your knees to get there. Nice. Come on to the belly. We've got a cobra on a breath in, so the hands can stay down next to the ribs or the armpits, or you can slide the elbows out in front of you. Nice choices, nice choices. You got it, perfect. Breathe here. And then exhale, lower down. So we'll play again. We'll do another cobra again. I want you to imagine sort of really connecting down into the front ridge of the pelvis as you inhale and lift yourself up. So this movement originates from the low back up through the spine, feeling stable back there with an open heart. Breathe in. Beautiful. Exhale and lower. And then let's press to all fours. So your tabletop, you'll push the hands and the knees to the mat. And then downward facing dog. And if you need any other shape in between, like a child's pose, like a moment to release any wrist pressure, you do that. You do that. Yeah, really nice with some bends in the knees. And then let's take feet to hand. So you'll walk forward or jump forward or kind of meet yourself somewhere in the middle and stay low. So yeah, nice. Keep your body low. You might grab your elbows, give yourself a little swing or a sway in your upper body. Maybe your head hangs. And then slowly roll up to stand. There's a rise here. The feet might need to step together or wider apart, depending on where they've landed. The arms can swing up right here. And as you exhale, lower the arms and bring hands to your hips. Yeah, step a little wider and give yourself some hip swings. I know, like we were in dance class doing like hip isolations and washing machines. And yeah, you might get sassy and go side to side. And that's cool too. Yeah. You might go sassy and go forward and back, or you might go in the circle. Still just what's happening today. The pants, I think. All right, still that. Ronaldo's like, yeah. All right, still the movement. You might step your feet together, swing the arms back up over your head. And then let's take a forward fold. Exhale. Soften the knees as you dive down. You might touch blocks or floor here. You can also keep the hands on the thighs. Breathe in, look forward. On an inhale here, you slide fingers up. Exhale and fold. Let's step the left leg back. Left leg steps back. You got it. Lower the left knee to the mat. And then pick up your chest, reach your arms. And so we were here before. We've done this before. Yeah. Nice. Get another breath in. Beautiful. Exhale, take the hands down. We'll come to all fours. So right leg steps back, palms to the mat. Tuck your toes to downward facing dog. Give yourself a breath in. And empty it out. Let's roll like a wave to plank pose. And so you're going to roll yourself forward. You're in your, push-up position. You got it. And then lower onto the mat. Maybe the knees drop. Beautiful. Lift your chest. Remember that cobra? We took a cobra or supported cobra here. Feel grounded in the front ridge of the pelvis. Exhale, lower down your head. Press back, either a child's pose in all fours or a down dog. Okay, so you make an informed choice for your body or practice. We're starting to warm up a bit. This is sort of a namaskara warm up, trying to get our body and our breath in sync, building a little bit of internal heat. And then wherever you are, we'll arrive in a forward fold. And so you might take your feet to your hands or take a hop forward or step, and then fold. You got it. And then we've got one more. So inhale, reach the arms up over the head, breathe in here. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your hips, step your feet a little wider, get the hips to go side to side. I know. And the knees will bend in that. You might take some circles there. Just imagine yourself back in your dance class. Yeah, and you know, the hands can kind of be anywhere. And then maybe it's just some twists if you just kind of want to move your upper body around a bit. You got it. So something that kind of keeps you grounded and fluid. And then you'll pause, bring the feet together, swing the arms up over your head. We'll do one more side. As you exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees. Breathe in, look forward so the fingers can slide to shins or the blocks out in front of you. Exhale and fold. Put the hands to the ground. Step your right leg back and lower the right knee down. Lift your torso and reach your arms over your head. You got it. Back to this Anjani Asana, drop knee, low lunge. Super grounded in the front left heel. Feet pulled together. There's a lift through the arms, the sides of the chest. And then as you exhale, lower the hands to the ground. Step either to plank or to all fours. So make your choice. And then to downward facing dog. Yeah, really nice. And now you have a choice. Stay in dog or take those transitional shapes, that vinyasa, meaning a roll forward to plank pose. You can lower your knees as you lower to the mat and then lift your chest. You got it. Right? So those are your movements that we did in the, yeah, beautiful. Nice, Carol. And then we'll meet in down dog. Beautiful. So you can arrive in dog or child's. And you breathe in, steady breath out, like the waves of the water coming in and out. So last time like this, take your feet to your hands. You'll pick up your heels, soften your knees, and maybe you meet somewhere in the middle or take a jump and you fold. You got it. Rise to stand, breathe in, swing the arms up and the fingers can touch. And now this time the hands will arrive somewhere at your heart center. So they could stay in prayer or touch your heart for a moment. And we'll start moving in a flow right here from the top of the mat. Beautiful. Lower the hands down by your side, soften your knees. You'll step your left leg back, left leg goes back. Pivot and plant the heel down. It's a warrior two. So we're going to open into the warrior two. Your right toes turn towards front of mat and your right knee is deeply bent. You got it. You got it. Yeah. And as you deeply bend your front right knee, the knee presses wide to the right. Beautiful. Flip your right palm up. Show me the peace fingers here and go back. So lean back, 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 back. Nice. And then return to your warrior two. So come upright. You got it. Straighten your front right leg. And then turn your heel, your back heel will turn out. So you kind of swivel. So now both of your heels are turning in and your toes are turning out. Great. Straighten the legs. Yeah. So we're coming into a wide stance here. And then give yourself a hug. So you can wrap the right over the left. Give yourself a hug here. And then in this hug, now you'll bend both of your knees. Right? So you're in sort of a wider squat. And you might go a little bit side to side, or you might stay upright and kind of deeply bend the knees. You got it. Open the arms out wide. Nice. Take your right forearm to the top of your right thigh and lean over towards the front of your mat. Yeah. And then you'll come back to center. Take your left forearm on the top of your left thigh. Lean towards the back of your mat. You got it. Oh, come upright, breathe in. Nice. Get a little lower. A little lower. Okay. Probably not the hardest thing you've done today, or will do today, but it's there. It's up there. Okay, now straighten the legs and touch the fingertips over your head. And now we'll swivel all 10 of our toes to face in, or the wide side of your mat. Great. As you exhale, lower the hands. Now you have a choice. You could bring hands to hips or hands behind back to interlace your fingers, because we'll take a forward bend here as the body comes between our legs. You might find you want to take a little shoulder stretch. If that becomes intense, maybe the hands come down to the mat or touch the block out in front of you. You got it. Beautiful. Nice. Yeah, another breath in, you're still here. And then you'll stay low. Let's unlace the fingers if they were still laced and bring them to the floor or a block right out sort of underneath your face. You got it. Okay, so from here, come up high onto fingertips, which means your chest lifts a bit, your arms straighten. And then you can keep the feet exactly as they are. You might need a little bit of space, but take a bend into one knee. You'll bend into one knee. You got it. That's it. Come through center and then bend the other knee. Now, blocks certainly help support this. If you feel you've got the space, you can always bring hands to mat for sure. And then you might need to widen your legs if that feels more comfortable or just to give you some space. So it looks like Skandasana. It's sort of variation of a Skandasana. Breathe here. Good, and then you'll still your movement. So the legs will straighten. Look towards the right foot. So that's at the front of your mat. And then we'll crawl ourselves forward. So you'll swivel all 10 toes to face forward. You'll bend your right knee. Leave your left hand down on a block or a mat. Turn your body towards your right leg and pick up your right arm. You're in a twist here. Now your back knee can touch the ground if you need extra support. That's always an option. You got it. Yeah. We're in a little bit of a twist here. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Okay, so from here, lower your right hand down. Look slightly forward. You might need a block for this transition. I want you to crawl your hands forward and pick up your left leg. And so you're in like a supported warrior 3. Maybe it's a standing split. Maybe the leg is on a low diagonal here. And then one last little shape. As you lower your left leg, cross it behind your right. So you've sort of stepped. Yeah, you got it. So you're in this sort of crisscross step. And then we're still in a fold. So if you look down, your right knee is probably stacked somewhere on your left. And using blocks definitely supports this shape because you're all twisted up. And now here's the challenge. Look slightly forward, get your balance, your bearings. Keep the legs as they are and come on up to stand. So your legs are kind of crisscrossed. You might need to reorganize. You need to put hands to hips to reorganize. Do that. You got it. Pause for a moment. Feel the sort of inner rotation of the hips, which is opposite of what we've been doing, all this external stuff. Pause for a moment. Great. And then uncross your legs. Come back to more traditional standing pose. Good. Beautiful. Breathe in. Yeah, and let it go. So we have the other side. As you soften your knees, you kind of get your bearings here. You'll step your right leg back. Yeah, so the left foot stays grounded. Step your right leg back. Pivot and plant your foot open to your warrior 2. You got it. Left toes face the front of your mat. Blocks can certainly travel with you. You got it. And then deeply bend into that left knee. Warrior 2. Yeah, flip your left palm, peace fingers on this hand and lean back, 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 back. Nice. You'll come upright back to your warrior 2. Settle here. Straighten through your leg. Take the arms up over your head. And then from here, your both heels sort of swivel in. So you kind of have to do a little swivel dance. Heels turn in, toes turn out. Bend your knees, open your arms wide. And then give yourself a hug. Try to go other arm on top. Maybe it's your left arm on this round. Yes. Yes. So we're in the squat again. You got it. Anchor down and through the back plane of your body. So the tailbone anchors as the heart lifts. And you might swing a bit side to side. That always works. Nice. Stay grounded in the pinky edge of your feet and the inner border of your feet. Sometimes we tend to scoop in a bit. Nice. And then open the arms. Take your left forearm to the top of your left thigh and lean towards the front edge of your mat. Yeah. Beautiful. Come back through center and then go the other way. Right forearm towards the top of the thigh, maybe hand to hip, and lean towards the back edge of your mat. You got it. Nice. Come upright, keep the knees bent, Maybe go a little lower. And your arms can do what you want to do, right? If you want to reach them out or up over your head, maybe they kind of keep you lifted as the hips go even lower. And we go a little lower. And your jaw is not clenched and you are softening your face. You might even give a smile here. Give yourself another deep breath in. We're still in this squat. And then straighten the legs. Whew. Then lower the arms. Now let's turn all the toes in. So you swivel one set of toes, the other set of toes. Another option again, either hands to your hips or take the interlace. You got it behind your back. Breathe in and then breathe out. You forward fold. Take your body over your legs into your forward fold. Any arm choice works. Any arm choice right here. Yeah, really nice. And as you're folding, notice if you could do a little bit more work in the center of your body, so the belly kind of pulls up and in, and then you sort of tip your weight a little bit more into the toes and feel energized through the backs of your legs as you ground into the outer heels. And then you'll unlace your hands if they were interlaced, bring them to the ground. And you might take hands on block again or to floor. Come to fingertips, so straighten the arms, lift the chest just a bit. And we're gonna play into those skandhas. Now this time, so the first round, our toes were sort of still facing forward. This time, you might turn the heels in just a bit. It's like a little turnout, yeah. And then do the same thing, bend one knee. It'll just feel different. Or maybe it doesn't, maybe it feels exactly the same. And you might play, depending on your heel tenderness, you might play with lifting the toes on the leg that's outstretched. So the leg that's straight, you might lift the toes. But, mind your heel. Yeah. And so you'll feel maybe something on the inner thigh, maybe. You might feel nothing at all. You can also stay upright. If being really low doesn't feel good, you can come up a little higher. Whoa. You might go one more time each side, even yourself out. Yeah, really nice. Nice, babe. And then pause, still your movement, your legs are straight. Look to your left foot, that should be towards the front edge of your mat, and start to walk your body there. So you turn all 10 toes forward, and we come back to a lunge. Now your right hand stays on the ground or the block, turn your body to the left thigh, and let's lift the left arm to the sky. You're in a twist. Nice, and your back knee can come down, that's always an option. As you exhale, lower the top hand, that left hand. Look slightly forward. You might use a block for this transition. Walk hands or block out in front and pick up your right leg. Any amount. Your right leg comes up any amount. Maybe you fly it, hover it. Maybe it stays low. Yeah, that's it. Nice. And then let's step right foot behind the left. So there's that crisscross leg situation. When you look down, your left knee is probably somewhere stacked onto. Yeah, really good. And you're folding here for a moment. Notice what this feels like in the outer hips. Maybe it's nothing. And now the challenge is to rise up to stand with these legs crisscross. So look slightly forward, lift your chest. You might bring your hands to your thighs or your hips first and come upright. Whoa. Reorganize your stance. Feel sort of this inner wrapping here. And then bring your legs back to a more traditional Tadasana mountain pose. Ooh, beautiful. Okay, let's see where we're at with time. Okay, great. We're gonna do one more thing. Yeah, we're gonna do one more thing standing, one more standing balance. And man, yeah, balancing on the grass is tough. So just be mindful. Now, I will tell you this. There is a fence behind you. So if you really are off balance, you can always take a few steps back and touch the fence. Maybe. Don't get tetanus though. Hopefully it's not rusty. Or you find your bearings. Okay, so we're gonna play here. Widen your legs a bit. And I think we did this a couple weeks ago, this sort of same action. Shift your weight into your left foot. Here, I'll mirror you. Pick up your right knee. Yeah, you can hold it or not. And then you'll take it out. So widen it a little bit. and then return it, close the gate. Go one more time. You widen it a little bit. Yeah, that's actually probably better. And then close the gate and then step down. Yeah. Whew. And notice if you were holding your breath. And notice what's happening in the standing leg, the outer leg, the ankle, because we got to do the same thing on the other side. Shift the weight to the left foot. Sorry, that's a lie. Your right foot. Pick up the opposite leg. So your left knee should be in your hand or not. You don't have to hold it. And then we'll open the gate. And then you close the gate. And it could be low. You can also keep your foot on the ground and sort of step it out, open the gate, and then close the gate. And then lower it down. Okay. So we're going to go one more time. And this time, as we pick it up, we did this a few weeks ago when I told you to kick a soccer ball. We did a little hacky sack move, but you'll sort of grab for the ankle, right? So we're kind of going to play with a little figure 4. We'll see what happens. Yeah. All right. So shift your weight into your right leg and pick up your left. And then you'll open and maybe find the heel. And then you might cross the ankle over your knee or your thigh. Okay. Yeah. Whoa. You might stay there. You might pick up your chest, maybe bring the hands to prayer. Can you give yourself a round of breath? Maybe it's low. Lift the chest, straighten the legs, and land your foot. Okay. One more side. Shift the weight to the left foot, and your right leg picks up. And then again, you try to reach for the heel so you can land it somewhere on the top of your left thigh. It could also be a little lower. So I sort of rested my foot on my foot. And then maybe you find a steady gaze. So your eyes are fixed on something to support balance. And a wave of a breath in. And a wave of a breath out. And then we lift up and plant your foot. Ooh, and then you shake that out. Yeah, nice. Beautiful. And so we'll come back to front of mat. We'll steady ourselves here. Oh, let's reach the arms out. Big old breath in, taking the sky, the sun, the breeze, and then empty it out. Forward fold. Exhale. Gorgeous. Breathe in, look forward. Plant your hands to the mat. Either step to all fours or come into your plank pose right here. Yeah, really nice choices. And then we'll lower onto the mat. This could be a chaturanga push-up. You'll lift your heart. It's your cobra or your sphinx pose, that supported cobra. You got it. And then lower down and back to downward facing dog. Yeah. Push hands in, lift the hips. Really nice. And you'll give yourself maybe one more round of breath right here. And then let the knees soften to the ground, child's pose for a breath. And if child's really isn't suiting you right now, you can always sit up. It's always an option. Always can sit up. And then you'll slowly sit your body upright, and let's bring the hips to the ground and let's swing the legs out in front of you. Yeah. Yeah, you can sit in whatever direction. So straight legs. Yeah, straight legs. Beautiful. You might need to sit back just a bit to support this shape. And so you'll keep, let's bend into the right leg, actually. So bend your right knee. Yeah. Great. And so we just did this standing. We just did the standing, but you'll take the ankle and cross it over the top of the knee. So it's not on the knee, it's by the lower part of the thigh. Yeah, figure 4, right? We're right here. Nice. You might touch hand to heel, hand to knee to sort of support you, unless you need hand support behind you. Okay, yeah. And then we're gonna have another option here. So you can stay in any one of these shapes, or your outstretched leg, the left leg, you might bend the knee and step on the foot. So that's gonna feel like something maybe on the outer hip, particularly if you stay on the tops of the sits bones and bring the chest closer to the thigh. You might stay right here and hold on to this shape. Now, if this shape doesn't work, another option would be like a seated tree. So you're still in the shape, you're just not touching the leg. So many options to play. Yeah, ooh, okay. I'm breathing. And then if your left knee was bent, you'll very gently, slowly straighten it out. And then let's all come to seated tree. So you'll take the inside of the foot or the sole of the foot to the inside of the leg. You got it. It's a breath in here, and then it's a gentle fold. Yeah, great option to put a block either under or the outside of the bent knee. Reach for what you can reach. Stay nice and upright. And then very slowly sit yourself up. We're going to come back to a shape that we did earlier. So the extended leg, it's your left one. Bring it wide, where we were sort of there in the beginning. Yeah. And then just as we did in the beginning, step your right foot to the floor. Remember that? Yeah. And then notice the difference if there's any sort of change here. And again, your right leg, the one that's bent, you'll reach for the top of the foot or the ankle, and then take the opposite arm over your head. Yeah. Okay, and then one final shape right here. You'll sit up and you'll bend the knee of the outstretched leg. Ooh, and grab for that foot or ankle. Yeah. Kind of hold on to something. So here's that squat. You're just seated. You're in a seated squat. Nice. Just another breath in. Feel the sitting bones stay grounded, and there's fluidity up through the upper body, right? There's movement that you can take. Great. As you sit back, start to extend the legs. So go back to where we started. You might do a little shimmy shake. And so now your outstretched leg is your right one. Bend your left knee. And then here, as you open it up, cross the ankle either in seated tree or take it over the knee, above the knee. You might sit back, and that kind of supports you. You might hold on to knee and heel. Another option, which might get into the shape differently, would be to bend the, feel what you feel there. Keep the chest lifted towards the shin. Yeah, nice. You do have to find some support on the ground. And as you exhale, if your knee was bent, you'll slowly outstretch the right foot. And let's bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right. Here is your seated tree. Janu Sirsasana with a forward fold. Yeah. And stay and give yourself an in breath right here. A full sweet breath in. And a steady breath out. And then we sit up. And now this outstretched leg will go a little wider. And then the bent leg will pull it out and step on it. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. It's like a little movement. And you grab the ankle, you grab for the foot, wherever you can reach, and take the opposite arm up. Yeah, really nice. And then inhale, sit yourself up. Last shape, this sort of seated squat. You'll bend the right knee. And then you're here. So the hips stay grounded. You feel into the sitting bones. You pull up through the upper corners of the chest. You pause for a moment. Yeah, really nice. And then as you exhale, here the bottoms of the feet will join. So you'll sit back a bit. And we did this right in the beginning. You're in this bound angle. You could bring them really close. Like if you want to feel this energy in the inner hips, the groins, heels can be super close to the pelvis, or you give yourself space. You can also prop up as you need, and we go forward. So you'll feel what you need, whether you want to feel some energy in the groins, the hips, or softening in the low back. Maybe take a sighing or a waving breath in, a sip of the breath, and then you sigh it out. And slowly follow your in breath as you lift your chest, moving from your tail to your head. You sit up, 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 up. And then let the legs outstretch. This will eventually lead us onto our back. So you'll make sure there's space in and around and behind you. You can come down directly onto your back. You might draw the knees directly in and make it wider as you start to massage out the low back area a bit. And as you arrive, if you need stillness right away, if you're ready to sort of find your rest, you do that. This could turn into twists, which means you might drop your knees over to one side. Maybe it's just one knee that comes over. Maybe you're tick-tocking the knees side to side. Yeah. And the arms can go overhead or out to the side or in a cactus shape, like a goalpost shape. And then once you've completed one side, you'll make sure and complete the other side, either in the same shape or a different shape. And then very slowly, and as you're ready, right, you might still need some movement, some stretches, some flow here. But as you're ready, you'll find yourself in a moment of stillness. And if your low back is still giving you a little bit of tension, you can always put the feet to the ground and buckle the knees in. If you're ready to sort of settle with outstretched legs, you do that. This is your final rest. This is moments to take final rest, where the practice goes inward, where you turn inward just a bit. You allow whatever flowing breath or movement that happened to sort of integrate right into your body. Make any connections that you need here. And soften just a bit more. Gently guide your attention back to your breath. Giving yourself a deeper breath in right here. And a full, complete exhale. Empty out. You might take this opportunity now to gently move your body, feeling your body move on your breath. Sending breath and movement to your toes or your fingers. You might do a full stretch of your body right here. Sort of take in the warmth, the sun that joined us. And then as you bend your knees and place your feet down, you'll choose to either press yourself forward and up or roll over to one side, and you can lie there for a moment. And then, like breath is moving you like a wave, you'll slowly press yourself up to sit. So we'll come back to an upright seat as we started. You can use a prop if you need underneath your hips or settle directly to the ground. Your choice in your legs. Then with your eyes closed or open, you'll reconnect your hands. They might come together in prayer at your heart or palms to the chest. Whatever way aligns your intention right into your heart for today. And you'll hear the sound of Om. You can join if you'd like. Together we breathe in. Om. My friends, the divine light in me bows to and honors the divine lights in each and every one of you. Namaste. And thank you for joining. Thank you for being here.